So here's what happened. Back in the day, Finland's schools sucked on the level that ours suck on. When they tested the world's kids, both Finland and us were usually about the same, somewhere down the list of nations. But Finland didn't like that. So they tried some new ideas, and in no time, Finland shot to the top of the world. Their students were number one. How did they do that? That was the one question I wanted an answer to, and I went straight to see the enemy's Minister of Education. Before I could say anything, she blurted out their top secret.
They do not have homework.
Wait, so you reduce the homework you give them in school?
Yes. They should have more time to be kids, to be youngsters, to enjoy the life.
So they have no homework. What if all they want to do is climb a tree?
They could climb a tree, yeah. They can climb a tree, then they learn how to climb a tree. But they'll end up, while climbing the tree, probably finding out about different insects, and they can come to the school next day telling me about what they found.
Compared to the older kids, how many hours a day do the younger ones go to school?
Mondays, 3 hours. Tuesdays, 4 hours. It varies. It's 20 hours a week.
So they're, oh man. Now, does this 3 or 4 hours at school include the lunch hour?
Yes.
How are they learning anything? How are you getting anything done?
Your brain has to relax every now and then. If you just constantly work, then you stop learning. And there's no use of doing that for a longer period of time.
Finland students have the shortest school days and the shortest school years in the entire Western world. They do better by going to school less.
Here, it's so student-centered that when we had to redo our playground, they had the architects come in and talk to the kids.
Were they listened to?
Yes, there are things on our playground that the students really wanted.
We try to teach them to be happy person, to respect others and respect yourself.
You're concerned with their happiness.
Oh yeah.
What the hell do you teach?
I teach math.
So the math teacher says the first thing out of your mouth of what you wanted these students to get out of school was to be happy, to have a happy life.
Yeah.
And you're the math teacher.
Yeah.
When do they have their time to play and socialize with their friends and grow as human beings? Because there's so much more life around than just school.
You want them to play?
I want children to play.
And that was the principle.
ฟินแลนด์เป็นประเทศรัฐสวัสดิการในการปฏิรูประบบการศึกษาเมื่อปีคริสตศักราช 1968 รัฐบาลได้วางแผนเชิงกลยุทธ์โดยมีวิสัยทัศน์ร่วมกันว่าการศึกษามีทั้งผลโดยตรงต่อชีวิตความเป็นอยู่ที่ดีและต่อความสามารถในการแข่งขันทางเศรษฐกิจซึ่งขณะนั้นฟินแลนด์กำลังปรับเปลี่ยนจากประเทศที่มีฐานอยู่บนการเกษตรป่าไม้และการประมงไปเป็นประเทศพัฒนาอุตสาหกรรมการค้าและการบริการที่ใช้เทคโนโลยีระดับสูงดังนั้นฟินแลนด์จึงนำทฤษฎีระบบมาใช้ในการปฏิรูปการศึกษาโดยนำประเด็นความต้องการการเปลี่ยนแปลงประเทศมาเป็นสภาพแวดล้อมที่มากระทบกับระบบการศึกษาและตั้งผลลัพธ์ทางการศึกษาที่มีคุณภาพของคนในประเทศที่จะพัฒนาไปสู่เป้าหมายที่ต้องการวันนี้รายการ Education Today มีแขกรับเชิญคือมิสซิสซูซาน่า เอชวิก Education Advisor จากสถานเอกอัครราชทูตฟินแลนด์ประจำประเทศไทยค่ะ
Why does Finland have the best schools in the world?
Well, it's not an easy answer, but also I would have to say that I think we have to start a little bit back in the history.
Yeah.
In the 1960s, Finland was a poor country,
right,
in Europe. Was just on the top of Europe. We didn't have much of any kind of natural resources, except we had the people. And already back then in 1960s, then the government decided that we have to invest in the humans,
in the people,
in Finland. And how do you do that? It's through education. So it was already in the 1960s the political consensus that education is one of the priorities of Finland, and we will invest money on it. And so it has taken us approximately 30 years to get to the point where we are.
And that only makes sense, right?
Yes.
To invest in the people.
In the people, because those are the future leaders of the country.
The future of the country.
Yes. And also, then it's not a short process. You cannot do miracles in a year or 2 or 3, but it is a long process. So it started in the early 1970s, and the first PISA surveys were done in the year 2000. So that was the first time that we got an indication that, hey, we have invested time, money, and effort in education, and now it's paying off.
It's paid off. It's a success.
Yes.
Yes.
And if one of the single factors why we are doing so well at the moment in Finland, I personally believe it's our teacher education. Because first of all, the raw materials, the students that enter the faculties of teacher education are the top achievers in high schools.
Right.
In Finland, it is as desirable to be a doctor, lawyer, or a teacher.
So teachers rank as first, the career priorities.
Yes. And you ask, that, the high school leavers, when they asked what are one of the careers that you would like to try to get into, they say teacher education. They want to become teachers. But only 1 out of 10 will ever get into the teacher education faculties, because it's very difficult to get into them.
Why do you think that is? Because of the compensation scale, or because they just want to be teachers? Is it a prestigious career in Finland?
It is. It has always been. Even historically, in small villages, there was the priest, and then there was the mayor of the town, and then there were the teachers, and the teachers has always been respected.
I see.
So, of course, because it's respected, but also it's many of the students want to do something for the future of the country, and they feel that by being a teacher and developing the youngsters of the society, they will put their own effort in building the future of the country.
Future of the country.
But also, of course, as well, in Finland, the teachers they are not paid huge amounts, but they are paid okay.
Okay, yeah.
As well as in Finland, they can continuously study, improve their own skills in service teaching.
It's a continuous development on the teacher side as well.
And of course, in Finland, they do enjoy quite long holidays as well. And your free time in Europe and Finland has become increasingly important as well. So those are maybe one.
And that doesn't decrease efficiencies in working, right?
No, it doesn't.
The happier you are, the more productive you become.
That's right. And you need the rest.
Yeah,
you need to have your holidays. You have to you need to have your weekends to charge your batteries in order to then start the week again.
But the majority of the schools in Finland are great schools, right? Like 99% of schools there are good schools.
Yes, that's right. I mean, all over Finland, even the northern part of Finland or the southern part in the big cities or the east or west, the schools have the same quality. The difference between the best school in Finland And the worst school in Finland is only 5%.
Wow.
But also in Finland, you don't rank schools.
I see.
So there are not any official ranking lists of schools in Finland, nor universities.
You don't rank. You don't do rankings at all, right?
Not inside Finland, we don't. So it doesn't matter if you graduated from the University of Helsinki or did you graduate from the University of Tampere. So
they're all the same standard.
Because they know that quality is good. So it doesn't matter what is the title of your certificate from a university or from a high school.
That's really interesting. I've read that formal education in Finland doesn't start till 7, right? The age of 7. Is that right?
That's right. Until then, children are encouraged to play. Like if they go to kindergartens, early childhood educational institutes, most of the learning comes through play. But
by playing, what do you mean? Like running, just running in the field?
No, every single play activity that is organized always have objectives, but it's not known to the children because it comes through form of play. And like, just let's say that they are playing, one is a shopkeeper, the other one is a customer. Obviously, that's what children do naturally as well.
Yeah.
But they're encouraged to speak out. I would want to buy 2 apples. Then they give 2 apples. They get the numbers, and then the other one also then as well says, okay, this is, let's say, €1, so they understand about the value of money, what things cost. They think a little bit about mathematical ideas.
And that comes naturally.
That comes naturally. And so they are encouraged to play, and they are given different settings, and they are always, there's an objective and goal, but it's kind of hidden in the play. And of course nowadays it's not just the academic skills that are so important.
Right, that's true.
So the skills, the social skills are very, very important, and that's what are being encouraged and taught in the early years of the education. Team play, working in teams, and that's how does that happen? By playing together.
The soft skills.
Soft skills. And those are the skills that are focused in the early education in Finland. Because the academic comes later.
Yeah, that's right. That's true. And how do you make quality education throughout the country with equality in the policy, right? You have education as number 1.
That's right.
Has been a policy for ages.
The faculties of education in Finland are of similar standard.
Right.
They have very different, very same objectives. Of course, the raw material that enters to the faculties of education as well is good, so it's easy to mold. But also you have to remember that in Finland, all the teachers receive master's degrees when they graduate from school. So they do their bachelor's and master's together.
Correct.
So in Finland, if you want to become a teacher and get a permanent position, you have to have master's degree.
You need to do well, right?
Yes. Yeah, you have to do well. You have to do a master's degree, and when you do a master's degree, you always have to do research. So they are all research-based teachers. So I think it's the high quality of the teachers that makes the quality in Finland.
Input first equals output. So the quality you put in is equal to the quality that comes out, which just makes sense.
Yes. And of course these teachers, even though, I mean, students, if they go and study to become teachers maybe somewhere in south of Finland, but then the tendency in Finland is quite a bit that you just then go back to your own area. The northern parts, eastern parts, smaller cities and towns. So that's why the quality centers are there, and then when they graduate, then they just go into different areas in Finland. That's why the quality in the northern part is as good as the quality in southern or eastern western parts of Finland.
So actually it's like decentralizing the quality throughout the different parts of the country.
Yes, but because the faculties of education And the raw material in there is good.
The resources you have. But at the same time that I read, there's no formal assessment or standardized test until the age of 18.
The standardized test we don't have, but you do assess the children all the time.
Individually.
Individually.
Right? This is done by teachers?
It's done by teachers on daily basis.
I see. Okay.
There's some misunderstanding come through the world media that in Finland we don't have exams. But yes, we do have exams, but we don't have standardized exams, except the one at the end of high school.
At the end of high school.
Yes. You have quizzes, you have presentations, you have what is quite high input. Emphasis is put on your performance in the classrooms daily. So big part of your assessment is how you do daily at school. Are you active in the classroom? Do you know how to work as a team? Are you a good team member? And this is assessed by the teacher. But the assessment is also done by the individual students. The whole assessment is actually a combination of the teacher's assessments, observations on daily basis, and the students' own self-evaluation of how they are doing in the subject.
So basically they're evaluating the students based on his or her performance previously, not related to other students, right? So they're not comparing one student to another.
Not until maybe in the later years.
Yeah.
But this is for every individual child, they do an individual study plan according to the potential that the child have, and so the most important they are asking from the child is, have you achieved the goals that were previously described to you? So it's a lot about their own individual development.
That's why they're all so happy, maybe.
Well,
they're stress-free. They're not too stressed in class. They're eager to learn. They're engaged. They're motivated. They're focused.
Well, that's true because there's not these outside factors that are putting pressure to perform well in the national exams. If you don't perform well, you don't get to the right schools. In Finland, the right school is the school next to you.
Yeah.
So when you go and live somewhere, if you move to another city, you just find a house and then you just look where's the closest school and you put your children in that school.
That's amazing.
So it doesn't give that pressure that you have to perform in this 1 hour, 2 hour exams well, but you have to perform well throughout. And that's why I believe that they are happier children. And also in Finland, happy means as well that they have free time. In Finland, you do get homework, because in some media they have said that in Finland they don't have homework, but that's not true. Yes, we do. I have 3 children, and when we lived in Finland, my children did homework, but a lot less than what they do here currently in Thailand.
Or in other international
schools. But yes, they do get homework, but the amount of homework is quite a bit less than in other parts of the world. So they have time to do other things than school. So the happiness comes that they can play instruments, they can play sports, they can socialize with their friends, and just not to work all the time. That's right.
So they have time to develop in other areas as well.
Yes, that's very true. And we don't have tutors in Finland either. So whatever you learn at school is what you are supposed to learn. You don't need to go anywhere extra to sit again in front of a book and try to understand, and that takes your time away from your free time. So I think those factors are playing into the happiness factor. And in Finland we believe that a happy child is a happy learner. So that's why the happiness factor is being tried to push in every different areas.
And that contributes to the focus of being lifelong learners as well.
That's right. Because if you feel that learning something new is a good thing. It
Yeah.
makes me happy. It wants to me to learn about other things as well. So it makes you a person that wants to inquire about the world all the time and learn about different things throughout your life.
It's wonderful.
I would have to say that maybe 60-70% of the adult population are doing some kind of courses or developmental trainings on their own time. Besides, while they're working, they're still studying or doing some kind of things to develop themselves further.
That's wonderful. Thank you.
และนี่คือแนวคิดในการปฏิรูปการศึกษาของฟินแลนด์ประเทศที่ได้ชื่อว่ามีการศึกษาที่ดีที่สุดในโลกส่วนการนำเอาแนวคิดของฟินแลนด์มาปรับใช้กับประเทศไทยจะเป็นอย่างไรนั้นกลับมาติดตามได้ในสัปดาห์หน้าค่ะกลับมาพบกับรายการ Education Today ได้ใหม่ทุกวันเสาร์เวลา 10 นาฬิกาถึง 10 นาฬิกา 30 นาทีทางสถานีโทรทัศน์ News 1และนี่คืออีกหนึ่งรายการคุณภาพจาก RSU WisdomTV สถานีโทรทัศน์แห่งมหาวิทยาลัยรังสิตค่ะ